Do you lose yourself in every relationship? Do you feel worthless when you're single? Overdependence is what happens when a broken father bond leaves a vacuum and you try to fill that vacuum with romance. You don't just want to be loved, you need it to feel like you exist. If that's you, this episode isn't here to shame you, it's here to gently walk you back to yourself. Hello everyone, welcome back to Beloved, Christian Healing for Identity and Self-Worth. I am Cherise Rochelle, and in today's episode, we are talking about overdependence on romantic relationships as a result of unaddressed father wounds. As per usual, we're going to look briefly at why the pattern occurs, how to recognize it, what the Bible has to say about it, and some steps that we can take to begin to reclaim our God-given identity and worth. So let's just get started. Why does this pattern occur? Touched on it briefly, but if a father didn't affirm your identity or a father figure, you may feel unsure of who you are unless someone else is reflecting you back. So when someone shows interest, it feels like, you finally have identity. And without them, you feel like a bit lost. You cling to love not just because it feels good, but because it tells you who you are. And without a partner, you feel lost, unloved, or invisible. Let's look at some signs. Let's look at 5 signs for recognizing this pattern. You might be struggling with overdependence if you shape your identity around the person that you're with. Breakups feel like personal annihilation. You stay in toxic relationships just to avoid being alone. You abandon your goals, values, or routines in order to hold on to love. Or you confuse being needed with being loved. And the inner narrative here is, if I'm not theirs, then I'm no one. Here's a moment from my own experience. In the past, I've made the mistake of losing myself in relationships. I would stop going to the gym or going to activities, hobbies, whatever the case may be. I would cancel time with friends. I would pour all my energy into supporting people who weren't even treating me that well. And I thought, if I just gave more, if I loved harder, if I showed up perfectly, then maybe my situation would change and maybe I would finally feel secure. But all I did was abandon myself. And looking back, I realized that I was trying to earn love instead of believing that I was already worthy of it. If that resonates with you, you're not alone. And if you want to go deeper and you're listening to this podcast, I offer mentorship sessions designed exactly for moments like these, and the link is in the description if that feels like a step that you would like to take. Let's look at what the Bible has to say about this. So your identity is not in being desired, okay? You were already designed on purpose, exactly as you are, by a Father in heaven who knows you. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, God's special possession. That is taken from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name, and you are mine. That is taken from Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1. You are already known, already loved, and already His. So let's look at how we can reclaim our identity and develop new patterns. Here are just a few steps. Step 1, ask deep identity questions. So reflect regularly. Who am I when I'm not performing for love? A few prompts that you can use when you're journaling or reflecting are, what parts of myself have I silenced in relationships? So what are the things that when I get into a relationship with someone, I kind of generally drop? I decide to push aside. What are my interests and passions and routines and stuff that get placed on the wayside when I'm in a relationship with somebody? What dreams or routines have I abandoned? What would I do with my time if I didn't have to please anyone? And this is where you can start to, see that clarity. This is where the clarity begins. You can't reclaim what you have not named. Step 2, rebuild your routines and your rhythms. So choose 2 to 3 things that you used to love or always wanted to try and begin doing them again just for you. Your hobbies, painting, learning a language, going on walks, prayer journaling, whatever your thing is. Reinstate your daily or weekly anchors, your morning devotionals or your gratitude time, your scheduled time with friends and family, your physical self-care, your exercise, rest, eating well, etc. These rhythms become the scaffolding for a life which is rooted in God's presence, not someone else's attention. Step 3, reconnect with God's naming of you. So meditate on verses like the ones I mentioned before, Isaiah 43, verse 1 and 1 Peter 2, verse 9, which remind you who you are, who you belong to, that you are chosen. And ask God in prayer what He says about you. Start a list. Write all of these things down. God says that I am ... and add to it every time you encounter truth in scripture. The more you sit with how God sees you, the more your worth becomes immovable. Step 4, create loving boundaries. Practice saying no to things that diminish you, even if they once felt normal. Don't explain away mistreatment. Learn to walk away instead of waiting to be chosen. Use this mantra: what I allow is what I teach people to expect. Boundaries are not about building walls, they're about building identity. Step 5, reframe what it means to be alone. So start saying things like, I'm not just single, I'm sacred. Build a life you love living right now in your singleness, not just one that you hope to share later. Find joy in stillness. Find confidence in your own company and security in God's companionship. The goal is not to avoid relationships, it's to stop needing one to feel real. If you want help walking through this practically and spiritually, I offer sessions where we can work through these things together, step by step, and you can find the link and all the information in the description notes. The identity shift that you want to come away from this with is, I am whole before I am anyone's other half. I don't believe in having an other half. I believe it's 2 whole people coming together. We're going to close on this verse. You are complete in Him. And that is taken from Colossians chapter 2, verse 10. If today's episode hit close to home and you would like help on this healing journey, please feel free to book a session with me or to schedule a free brief call at belovedwithcherise@gmail.com. Next time on Beloved, we are going to begin exploring how father wounds impact our sense of identity and value, and I cannot wait to see you there. But for now, this has been Beloved with Cherise Rochelle, where faith meets healing and you are reminded of just how deeply loved you are. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, wrapped in grace, and never forget you are beloved.